Yo, yo, yo. CPA Strength here, back again. Owning my own business for 7 years in. What up with it? First of all, I just want to get in here, talk to you, Jonathan. No one ever thought you would ever make it this far. You've exceeded everyone's expectations. And guess what? You're just getting started. And you didn't give up. You stayed the course. Even though I'm 7 years in this, I feel like I'm just getting in the groove. I feel like I'm just learning how to work customers. Anyways, I feel like I'm just getting in the groove. From doing it from the hard knocks, I feel like I got so much egg on my face. And I just kept going. The first 3 years I was a deer in the headlights. I had no idea. And pretty much the first 3 years I had an office on the other side of this building, a little small office with no good window action. It was kind of like, the past 4 years I've been in this office, and I feel like it's two separate things. So the first 3 years I was like deer in a headlight. If you're on the fence, if you're wondering, should I take the leap and start my own business? Yes. By all means. You're gonna learn so much about yourself. And that's if you're on the fence. If you're not on the fence, I mean, it's not for everybody. It's not for everyone to own your own business, alright? But if you're on the fence, yes, do it. I've definitely had my ups and downs, but I've stayed consistent. Now, it was hard because I had zero revenue coming in when I started. I had no income. This was 7 years ago. I left a job, a CPA. So I could have probably, I could have stayed at that job, got another job as a CPA. Started out first year making nothing. Then I made a little more, then a little more, then a little more. Probably by the fifth year, I would have made about the same as if I was working for somebody else. And just maybe around there. But now the 6th and 7th year, I am making more money, and it's not always about the money, it's about the freedom too. So I don't know, maybe if I was making the same amount of money, but I got the freedom, and I hate when someone tells me, what are you working on, or work on this, or do this, or do it this way, or hey, do this, and you say, why? And you say, because I said so, and I'm like, okay. Someone yelling out there. There's always action out here. I went through my old videos and made some notes. I had 4 old videos. I had the first one 2 months in. So 2 months in video. What did I think about that? Well, I thought the fucking lighting was horrible. I was worried that my neighbors could hear me. It was a really small office. I was just all quiet. The lighting was horrible. It was one of my earliest videos. What a risk it was, I finally had a good job. I had more money than I've ever made in my life, and then I just threw it all away. It's like, I believe I was like a third of the way there to pay my bills 3 months in. I probably had like 1 or 2 clients, and I was thinking as I saw that, like, what gave me the motivation? Why did I think I could start my own business and be successful with it? And I think because I had some other wins, like I graduated college, I passed my CPA exam, I found a job under a CPA so he could write off on me. I thought, well, I've done all those things, I could probably open a business. And something else that I've been thinking about is, it wasn't the first business I've owned. I was self-employed for many years. I sold candy all through middle school. That's just, I've always been a little entrepreneur, always had some hustles going on. I'll just leave it at that. If you can think about, what's a natural progression when you sell candy, actual candy, like Pixie Sticks, Now and Laters, bubble gum. Those are my big things. Pixie Sticks. I love selling Pixie Sticks. So I was always hustling something, but this was, the first, legitimate business endeavor I had. A year in, I made a video a year in. I was making enough money to pay my bills after a year, so what a relief that was, where I knew that I was gonna make enough to keep the doors open. I mean, it was really scary. I finally got my CPA license, and I could finally make money, and something wasn't right about it. But what a relief to finally make enough money to live on. Talking about letting bad clients go and how I just gotta let bad clients go. That's true, but I've since, that was a year in, so 6 years later now, my 7th year, I'm thinking I try to vet my clients a lot more so I don't have to let them go. Take them on slow, like before, like, you know, my first year or two, I would say, oh, I just met you. I have no idea about you at all. Like how you, if I'm gonna like doing business with you, you know, are you gonna, you know, answer a text or a call back? You know what I'm saying? Are you gonna be easy to communicate with, or is it gonna be horrible? So now I kind of just say, let's just do a tax return and then we'll see. You know, you do a tax return, it was okay. Well, you know, oh, do you want me to do payroll for you? Do you want me to do bookkeeping? Where before I would just do everything at once. So that's definitely a games played type of thing. And I'm not sure, and this is great why I make these videos and look back on them. I said I felt this weird feeling of depression when I was making enough money to my business would succeed. It was almost like I was so, I don't know why, because it's almost like I wanted to fail because I was scared to succeed, because I never really thought that I would amount to anything, and that I was totally overachieving for myself by being a licensed CPA and graduating college with an accounting degree, that maybe it was a lot of pressure, or I don't really know what I was thinking. I just remember watching the video the other day, and I'm saying after a year in that I was depressed when I found out that I was gonna have enough money to make it. I guess that's the weird thing about the human mind, and definitely for another video and stuff, but I have very, very, very low self-esteem. I think that led to most of my problems in my life. Just want to say the lighting was so bad in those 2 first videos, dude. And after a year in, I went through my first tax season and made it, and it was like, I was happy about that, because you're always wondering, you know, is all my PIN numbers, and you know, I hit these buttons on the, you know, on my computer all alone in my office, and then are people gonna get refunds and stuff like that? So it worked out fine. I did a video 2 years in. There was a couple comments on the video that said, dude, you need to make an outline. And I know, because I jumped all around, and so I'm probably taking it more serious now. I made an outline, and it's gonna be a lot better video. Time's the most valuable resource. I gotta do a good enough job to get you to commit with your time to watch my videos. 2 years in, I didn't really say much, although I had my little YouTube ticker next to me, so that's funny, because it had 20, I just thought of this now, it had 20,000 subscribers. Now it's 5 years later, I got over 200,000 subscribers, and what a ride. I did, you know, I guess YouTube's part of my business, and I did daily videos. I really grinded, and I just wanted better for myself so much in the summer of 2017. 3 years in video, I was in a house I was renting. I had just took a job somewhere else that I had to go in. It was like a 9-to-5 job. I stayed there for about 3 months at this 9-to-5 job. I quit. I quit. Didn't see eye to eye, let's just say. You know what? That was 4 years ago. It doesn't even matter anymore. Anyways, this motherfucker raised his voice at me, alright? I was like, nah, bitch, nah. I was like, man, I don't let nobody big boy me, okay? That ain't it. I always heard, like, Yeah, so I had to leave that job. I was sitting there thinking, what did I do? What did I do? Now the guy, my boss raised his voice at me, all right? My boss raised his voice at me. I just had to leave because I used to get picked on and bullied a lot. Like, it was pretty bad. For a short, fat, poor, white kid, that was not what you wanted to be in South Florida, all right? That was not what you wanted to be. And at some point, I made the decision that I wasn't gonna get bullied anymore. I wasn't gonna get picked on. And then I started hitting corporate America, and you know, my bosses wanted to yell at me, and I'm like, whoa, it brought me back to like middle school. Anyways, had to leave that job before I got arrested, because I literally wanted to just choke this little motherfucker's head off. So I was like, I better get out of here. Anyways, left the job. I remember thinking, oh, you did it now. You're making more money than you ever had before. And what are you gonna do now? Well, you know, I'm happy to say that I thought, what are you gonna do? You know, even though you had to sit in this office for 8 hours, even though it was so stressful, even though they would tell you to do stuff, and why? Because I told you so, and you know, oh God, you know, they'd curse at me. I am very happy to say 4 years later, I'm making about 2.5 times as what I made at that job, where I thought, oh my God, I'm making so much money. Oh, so yeah, it was a big deal to move from. Once I quit that job, I soon after thought, well, I can't really afford this house that I'm renting. I could, but I didn't really want to rent, and then it was kind of in the hood, or it was in the hood, so I didn't want to have clients come there, which I wasn't really thinking about at first because I had this job. So anyways, I came back to this office. I came back to this building, and I said, hey, can I get my old office back? Because I left on decent terms. So one thing as an adult you're gonna have to learn to do is leave. Don't burn bridges everywhere. That's what I did when I was younger. I would just burn every fucking bridge, but not anymore. Anyways, they had an office that was a little bit more money, which I was like, which is this current office, but it has 2 windows, overlooks the lake, and I just love this office. And you know, I have like millionaires, you know, coming to my office, and they say, oh my God, I love this office. This is such a great office. Like, this is an awesome office. So, you know, that worked out for me, that I took the chance. You know, every year I made small tweaks to my bookkeeping, payroll, tax business, YouTube business, I suppose. And YouTube has been a good little solid business for me for the past 7 years. A seasonal business this would work for. So in January, it is go time. You got to be running at 100 in January to do 1099s, and then tax season starts, and so you got to be at 100. So every other year before this year, December, I would just hang out, smoke a lot of pot, and just hang out and be like, oh, tax season is starting up soon, so I just need to relax. Which I didn't do this year. I started in December. I got my tax program for the upcoming year, the like middle end of November. So December, I was working like it was tax season. I was getting the bookkeeping caught up. I was doing things on my tax program, anything I could do to get ready for the next year, which kept me super busy, and nobody was calling me, so I could keep my train of thought. And then so during the month of December, I went from 0 and gradually got up to 100. I was exercising every day. I wasn't smoking pot. And by the time the new year came around, I was ready to go, boy. So instead of having to go from 0 to 100 real fast in January, I gradually got up there. So that was a big change that I did this year. I just read, yeah, I changed my mindset after about 6 months ago from here, I started loving myself, and that changed everything for me. That changed everything for me. How much energy I had, how happy I was, how much anxiety I had, how much depression I had. Virtually none. Just this insane drive to escape my mind. Once I started loving myself, I didn't need to escape. I didn't need to escape my day-to-day. I liked myself. I loved myself. And let me just tell you, if anybody's watching this and you don't like yourself, just stop what you're doing. That needs to be number one. You need to love yourself, okay? Because guess what? You got nowhere to turn, and also guess what? This is all you got, bro. This is your only life you got. So you better love yourself. And if you don't, you better figure out real fucking fast how you're gonna love yourself. Because, dude, nothing else even fucking matters. All the accolades I fucking did, everything I did, quit doing hard drugs, quit drinking, still hated myself. Exercised for nine years straight. You know, decent. Yeah, come on. Your boy's jacked, alright? I'm juicy. Dude, jacked and tan, right? Still hated myself. Graduated college accounting degree, still hated myself. Got a CPA license, still hated myself. Got a real estate license, still hated myself. Make over 6 figures a year, still hated myself. I was thinking, oh, when I, you know, a little piece of me thought, hey, when you buy your own house, you'll love yourself. Nah. I know this is about owning my own business after 7 years, but loving myself improved every single facet of my life. And you know what, since I'm on it now, since I'm talking about it so much, you're like, well, what the fuck did you do, bro? What did you do? Alright, it was kind of a long process, but I went to my, was it in 2021? Yeah, April of 2021, I went to the first, it was a motivational motivational speaking engagement seminar put on by Sean Gumby. That was the only one I've gone to so far, but I want to go to many, and I want to pursue being a motivational speaker. One of the speakers was a rapper, Papa Duck. And he said, words are spells, man, words are spells. So I thought, I don't know, I hate myself, fuck that, I hate my fucking life, I hate myself. And see, that was what would be going through my head, I hate myself, I hate myself. So, and then I read the 4 agreements. I didn't read it, I got Audible on the 4 agreements. So I'll make this fast. But then it said, man, you gotta, you know, it said also in there, words are spells, and you gotta be nicer to yourself. And I'm talking my whole life, I can remember, since I was 4 years old. So for 40 years, I would say, oh, I fucking hate you, I hate my life, I fucking hate everybody, I hate this, I hate that. When I would work out, what would get me the most angry was I would think about how much of a piece of shit I was and how much I hated myself. And then I would wonder why my life wasn't good. Or I did this seemingly simple thing. I switched saying I hate myself, I hate this, I hate my career, I hate this person, I hate whatever I was gonna say I hate, I would say no, I love. Oh, it was fucking weird at first to say, I love you. I love that person. I love my job. I love my career. I love owning my own business. I love. That was the biggest thing that I did that changed it. I started going to bed at a certain time. I started going to bed at 8 o'clock. Because not so much getting up the same time every day. Because yeah, you might get up at 6 o'clock every day. You might get up at 6 o'clock every day, but if you went to bed at 3 in the morning, then you're only gonna get 3 hours of sleep and you're gonna be tired that day. So I think it's better to have a set bedtime, and then if your body's well rested and you get up before your alarm clock goes off in 8 hours, that's what I like to set it for, then you're good. Another thing is I did 110 straight days of burpees during tax season. Didn't smoke pot for 75 days during tax season. So I just was such a machine. I geared up. You know, also, I might not be the smartest person. Definitely not the smartest person. Okay, what I have is a drive to be better. I value my clients. I answer calls back. I answer texts. I answer emails. People tell me all the time, you know, how much they like that, and they refer me to somebody else because I do that, and that's, you know, that sets me apart so much. I'm not flaky. I'm about my fucking business. Let's go. I'm not a fucking flake. I'm about this fucking life, where I came from fucking nothing, and I understand what I have now, and I am not just gonna give it away. You know what? It feels amazing to start with an idea and work super hard and go up and down and up and down and just to be where I am today, which I feel like I'm just getting started. Like, I just now have my mindset good and I'm just getting started. So I'm gonna be in a special place another 3 years, another 7 years, you know, another 10 years. I'm gonna be in a very special place because I get up every morning, I go hard, I grind hard. I just don't know other way. I don't know another way, and I do know another way actually, because for 20 years I didn't do anything except hang out, and I don't want to just hang out anymore. I'm gonna close this out by saying, you know, I gradually got better and I learned as I went. You can only, you know, it's said I've seen it so many different places, but you can only prepare for owning a business so much. You basically, you jump in and you grow your wings as you're falling down. You know, jump into the deep end. And it's really the only way. If there's something in your head telling you, hey, I want to do it, I wonder if I could do this, man, it's scary, it's hard, just do it. That's owning my own business after 7 years. Long video, yes. Made some notes. Deuces.